I did it. I did it. Perfect. All right. So can we talk about this? Can we talk about this really quick? It's important. It's very, very, very important. I'm sure y'all can see down here this banner. This is a PSA for the entire North American server. This is my personal belief. However, it is a belief based in my understanding of the game. You need to pull on this banner. This is up there with Space Ishtar as like one of those banners you really need to pull on. I see chat disagree with me, but hang on. This is a great opportunity to get some very, very powerful servants. I know a lot of you have watched my videos and seen me hype up this man Asclepius right here. This man Asclepius is probably one of the best freebie servants in the entire game. Easily. Man has HP recovery that goes off the chain. We're talking 5,000 on a single skill. Territory Creation A, hanging out here. This man has a 20 to 30% NP gen rate for all allies. Which I know, Paracelsus von Hohenheim exists, but on challenge quests, this might be the better idea to bring. Man also has the ability to give a party a 20% NP steroid with debuff cleanse attached to it. This isn't even talking about his Noble Phantasm. Guts. Debuff immunity. The Guts is based on NP level, which you can easily get him to NP 5 because he's a 3-star. And a 1,000 to 3,000 HP region depending on the level of overcharge. There's a reason this man's the god of medicine. Really. Really. I feel like there are a lot of situations I've personally been in as a player where if I've had an Asclepius, it would not have been an issue. Now we get to talk about Hot Wheels. First off, this is Paco art, so let's just start right there. This is Paco art. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. This is Paco art. Look at that. It's Rio art. Ashwatthama, I would personally be willing to make the claim that he is the best single target archer in the game. Super Orion, category of his own. I know some of you are going to be like Super Orion, but I'm talking about single target archer with a damaging NP. So let's put that caveat out there right now. Beyond Super Orion, this is the guy. This is the guy right here. Man's got survivability. And man's got these crazy buffs that are tied to Buster and Quick. Can increase his critical damage, attacking with Quick cards. And he has a defense down stacking debuff, attacking with Buster cards. I'm not super worried about looping. I'm really not. I know a lot of people like to talk about the looping and all that, but here's my problem with Squirtorius specifically, is the fact that when you have a servant that in general has to loop their Noble Phantasm, I am not biased because of the artist. Let's stop right there. I am not biased because of the artist. When you have a servant that relies heavily on looping, NP level becomes a factor, and NP level is a very difficult factor when you are also considering that they're a 5-star servant. Ashwatthama just needs critical up from his allies, and he is good to go. The man's got additional damage tied into his Noble Phantasm, and defensive debuff removal that he's able to take care of. Yeah, it doesn't remove the debuff, the defensive buff that is, before damage is dealt, which I wish it did. I really do. But even with just that alone, you have the ability to go in there and follow up with an archer's level of crits. He does have another banner, though. He does have another banner, and he does have availability in the story summon. But let's go ahead and talk about the main reason I'm talking about this. And that's your boy. That's your boy right here. Arjuna Altar is like your only opportunity again, people. Raikou exists. As much as I love Raikou, as much as I do love Raikou, I really do think Arjuna Altar is better. I really do think Arjuna Altar is just better in every single way. Like, his NP reduces Buster resistance. The man's got 3 Buster cards that will then also deal extra damage if your enemy is debuffed. Do you all know what is a debuff? Reducing Buster resistance is a debuff. Defense down is a debuff. There's just so many debuffs you can inflict. You can send out Hassan of Serenity and poison somebody and just use that poison. That's a debuff. Curse, debuff. It doesn't matter what the debuff is, just that one is on them. He's got that star absorption power that Raikou has, but it goes specifically to his Buster cards, which is the card you want them to go to. If you end up hitting up with that mixed deck, which I know from my experience, and I'm sure you all know from your own personal experience, you aren't getting the perfect deck every single time. It's just not happening. Unless you got card manipulation from Harry Potter Mystic Code plus BB. You aren't getting perfect card manipulation all the time. So even when you draw a deck that's not ideal, you can still make sure the stars go where they can with Arjuna Altar. And the man's guts is out of this world. It's not Heracles level guts. I'll give you that. But Heracles level guts is good when combined with the fact that he's got one of the best Bonsees in the entire game. Arjuna Altar guts grants HP regen after the fact. So he has an opportunity to somewhat survive even if his guts gets popped. And some people would also argue Sculpted Object is a good thing to put on. Not nearly as good as Castle in the Snow. Not nearly as good as Castle in the Snow. But 3 attacks worth of invincibility? That alone that's Hydrogyrum, people. That's like a volume in Hydrogyrum right there. I really think, I know a lot of people say that Buster is dead on JP. People say that Buster is dead. But one thing a lot of people don't consider when they make statements like that, is the fact that not everybody has access to every servant. In a perfect world, even when we talk about tier lists, a lot of that information comes from, in a perfect world, if I had my pick of the litter for every single character in this game, and I just need to know who I needed to bring for everything to fit in teams. That's in a perfect world. That doesn't exist in a gacha game unless you've spent a ton of money. It doesn't. You have what you have, and when you have limited funds, you have to push them onto priority banners that have the highest chance of making your team better if you need help. I agree with you, Egg. Buster will never truly die because there's still a lot of great Busters and Buster supports, and we all know the meta constantly changes and shifts and grows. Artoria Caster, yes, top of the pack now on JP without question. Arts is going to be the main meta for a long time. Yes, absolutely. But that has potential to change. FGO has at least another 5 years in it. Do you know how much a game can evolve in 5 years? How much a game can change in 5 years? With that amount of time, something as crazy as, say, Merlin's Strengthening Quest? Not off the table. Not off the table by the slightest. And this PSA goes to new players as well. If you got a friend that is starting up FGO for the first time, this is the prime time to get them to start. If you want to reroll accounts for a friend, get them into the game, have them play with you, share, talk, grow together in the game. This is the man that your friends are going to be able to take and be like, oh my gosh, I can just crush. I can just crush through this whole game. This is so fun. That's how I personally felt when Sakata Kintoki came out the first time. And that man's not even close to being meta anymore. He's Boss Slayer, yeah. But I feel like Arjuna Alter, more so than anybody else, would capture that same feeling for a new player. Would capture that, like, love that I have for Sakata Kintoki. I just think, gang, he is very fitting. Everyone and their mother has a Merlin, so you should be able to get a Merlin or a Waver or somebody to support him. Berserker class advantage is still real. I really do think Arjuna Alter is one of those servants where if you don't pull for him, you might end up regretting it. But that's just kind of what I think. This year, really, it is a toss-up. It is a toss-up between Arjuna Alter, Space Ishtar, and Shen Gong for Best Servant. So if I can get out PSA out there, if Arjuna Alter interests you at all, with the other stuff that's included on his banner, I think it's safe for you to go ahead and pull. I don't think it even needs to be a question. If you'd rather save for Space Ishtar, that's fine. I understand. But if Arjuna Alter interests you at all, you don't need to worry about pulling for him, because you're going to get something good. Even if it's not Arjuna Alter, basically everything offered on this banner is a win. Just felt I needed to get that PSA out there. I really did.